I live very close to a variety of stores that reminds me of my parents' numerous stores and shops that were looted in northern Nigeria during the 1966 crisis. Now I am narrating how the lootings occurred. That fateful day, the crowd and looters started gathering, and before my family members could say, "Jack," the crowd had surrounded the shops and compound. They started hitting the metal roller doors of the shops and broke into all the surrounding shops and started looting. My dad, on seeing what was happening through the house windows, removed his gun to shoot at the invaders, saying that before they will kill him, he must at least kill some of the attacking looters. Well, wife's instincts. My mother quickly held and begged him not to, that if he kills any of them, they will stop the looting of the shops first and comfort them inside the house. My father reasoned with her, though insisted that he was going to fire in the air and frighten them, which he did, and they all panicked and ran away, but later came back in thousands. They looted till evening, but what really took them so much time was the thick, still standing safe in one of the stores, so difficult to break or carry out. Only God knows what they finally did to the safe before setting everywhere on fire. As night approached and there wasn't any help coming from anywhere, my father removed his clothes, secretly took the back door, and managed to escape through the backyard wall. Meanwhile, my mother, who was backing her last son, holding her leather Bible and a torchlight, for it was already night, with the help of the Southern Zaria women who attended the same church with my family, the SIM, Sudan Interior Mission Church. They covered my mother and her baby with a wrapper to conceal her identity. They led my mother to the backyard kitchen. After the looters had vandalized the whole shops, they continued looting the things in the house. Some went to the back kitchen where my mother and her helpers were hiding her. They pointed at my mother and kept on saying, "Gamatanchi, Gamatanchi Nan," which means, "See his wife here." Inamijinki, meaning, "Where is your husband?" As they saw the leather Bible my mother was holding, they shouted, "Kawo wanchankudin jaka, the kikerikewa," meaning, "Bring that bag of money you are holding." My mother replied them that it was her Bible she was holding. As they didn't believe her, they told her to open it. When they saw it was a Bible, they never knew that in between the knitted leather of the Bible, my mother had stuck in her bank's passbooks. One of them just collected her torchlight. Later that night, with the help of the Southern Zaria sisters, my mother was led out of her compound to the Roman Catholic Church, where many missionaries were living at the outskirts of the town. On the way, my mother insisted that some of them should go back to help her get her husband, and as many boys they could camouflage and help bring them out to safety. They tried to convince my mother that her safety is only guaranteed by the numbers of women that surrounded her, so that people will not easily notice her in their midst. On getting to the Catholic Church, my mother and her escorts were so astonished to see that my father and some of the boys whom my mom was busy lamenting for were already there. My father, who escaped from his compound without clothes so that the invaders would not be able to identify him, was already clothed by the Catholic priest. Many Southerners were gathered in that Catholic church, and by the next day, they were all transported back to the eastern part of Nigeria. In fact, that was how the lootings, destructions, riots, and crises continued and escalated into massive. Many people who were escaping with their vehicles or in the eastern-bound trains were marched along their journey to their hometowns. As a teenager then, I can't count the number of people whom I noticed with some parts of their faces or bodies maimed so badly. It was really so devastating that many families suffered losses both in human lives and properties.